Salutations! Bringing this back by having skipped a few games here and there, so the order might be a little bit messier than it usually is. Some of these Kemco games start to pull away from the usual JRPG motif. I think one of them was on sale for like really low money, but it was like a visual novel and it looked kind of janky, like art style wise. Just looking at it by first glance, I was like, this ain't my games. This one has roguelike elements to it, but at a casual glance at the trophies, it doesn't seem to be too difficult to 100%. With that said, for my next game, I played the card-building game known as Overrogue. A region of magic and demons from the underworld have their selection battles to decide who should rule said underworld as overlord. They're said to be, quote, gifts that are just recreations of the human world. It's been a while since the last Catching Up With Kemco episode, 2 years plus in fact. So I was a little relieved to see the old familiar RPG Maker aesthetic to the cutscenes and movement outside of battles. Like a warm cup of Campbell's chicken noodle for myself. Not a 5-course meal in an RPG, but just good comfort food. You play a vampire named Sale, accompanied by his black sheep butler Monty. You're soon joined by a doll named Elise with her own aims to be overlord, then settles up with Sale and a cute wolf girl named Narba, and thus your party with Monty serving as tutorials and advisor is formed to take on the many labyrinths and succeed Sale's father as overlord. Card battles is the way to fight in this game. Just simply put, go through labyrinths, kill bosses. You've 2 types of currency. Oh, welcome back indeed. Blight stones and demon coins. The stones for small power-ups and some chance buffs like a slightly bigger chance at getting rare cards. Both blight stones and demon coins, the latter mainly, can be used for Sagan gachas for new cards and treasures to unlock. Also stickers for more permanent power-ups so that future labyrinths become a little bit easier to conquer. Like, for instance, if you've already unlocked a card, there's going to be a sticker or 2 that might power that card up or give you more starting HP and the like. In battle, you get a set of 5 cards and 3 starting mana to use whatever cards you see fit. You'll see the turn at the top of the screen there, whose turn it's going to be. Cards have a mana cost on the top left. After using up your mana, the turn and the rest of the cards you have get discarded. Each enemy you face has icons on what kind of attack or support that they're going to use next, so there is a little bit of strategy involved with who to swing and who to take down first. You will gain a card for winning a battle, or you can skip it if you don't like the options the cards give you to get you some gold, so you can use that in Labyrinth currency, so now there's 3 cards. You use that to buy like more cards, or if you don't like the cards you have, you can like sell one away for a price as well. Thus making you get to your cards that much easier, because once you go through all your cards, it resets and you draw again. So you'll never like deck out or anything. There's battle spaces, treasure spaces for temporary buffs while you're in the labyrinth, event spaces that can help or hinder depending on your choices. Even if you make a wrong choice, the game makes it known in the future, so you'll know what choice to make the second time you happen upon that particular event. Upgrader spaces to buff your existing cards for a run. Rest spaces where you can restore HP, or if you don't need to rest, train and get some XP to increase the amount of HP you have once you level up. You'll have some quests to do, which will make finding characters in the town a little bit tedious, but most quests are usually just beat this labyrinth, sometimes putting on more difficulty tweaks called karma. They can stack up the stuff for making the enemies have more health, you get less gold, less healing at a rest stop, etc. You'll also be familiarizing yourself with 5 different decks, as some later labyrinths force you to play using the later decks you might not be familiar with at first. No biggie. Little tip would be to just keep in mind that if you're in the story mode about to unlock a new labyrinth that might require it, I recommend holding on to your demon coins to spend on that new deck. You do get some starting cards when a new deck unlocks, but why not save your coins and buy some variety to try and get better cards? If you conquer the new labyrinth, you're then free to repeat them as many times as you like with whatever deck you want to use. My personal faves are the first deck with a lot of sword cards, because one of those temporary treasures that goes with that makes all your cost 1 mana cards cost 0, and it's always for the first deck. Then I got really good. I believe it was the last deck, which gives you a cost 1 instant kill death card if your HP is ever over any one enemy. You can just plop that 1 and just kill them instantly. So grind and spend as you get them. I know at least 2 in that deck. This one's a little bit grindy for the platinum. By the time I beat the whole main game, there are 1 or 2 other unlockable labyrinths to test your skills. And the magic number is 100 completed labyrinths. I barely had under half that under my tally by end main game. So I just grinded on the first 2 floor one over and over again until I got my platinum after cutting my teeth and getting the right lucky combination in one post-game labyrinth that just makes a random hodgepodge deck of all 5 cards throughout. I recommend many sword cards, 0 cost for drawing what you want, the instant death. By then you'll get treasure acquainted with stuff like 1 less mana, but your characters get double turns. That can be useful. This is all luck-based, especially that one post-game labyrinth, so you'll be having some time with this one. Overall, this is a genre that might turn away some people, like your Slay the Spire, as another review put it. Chance upon chance with your card draws and monsters. Some runs in those games can get real rough in the end, but I can safely say this is the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest on deck-building roguelike games. It's very entry-level type easy. Personally, I've only ever lost 1 character, and that was on an end boss I was more than halfway done in beating down. Other levels started to tax me a little bit more, but I didn't even game over or fail a labyrinth until the aforementioned post-game, where that just had like a couple bad runs with the random one, where it's just the hodgepodge of the cards that I mentioned. That's the only time I've ever gamed over, the only labyrinth I've ever game overed in a couple of times, till I got the right combination I wanted. There's going to be some times where you have to do the same labyrinth over and over to progress the main story. Just think of that as getting more demon coins to spend/save on future runs when the labyrinths eventually start getting more floors. I do recommend this game for anybody trying to see what the deck-building roguelike RPGs are all about. Nothing too advanced story-wise. If you've played enough of these Kemco RPGs by now, the same slapstick to serious moments will ensue. Just don't expect a power level and beat it in a few days like most. It's been too long since I could really slot this in someplace. I don't have my list anymore. I wouldn't even know where to put it. But I will say this is a decent entry-level 3 out of 5. Again, it might be a little bit tedious. It keeps it from getting any higher than that, because, like as I mentioned, there's just some times where you have to just do the same labyrinth over and over again. Even the story will even tell you, like, hey, do this a bunch and gain followers and stuff. But yeah, just take that as your chance to up that 100 Labyrinth Clear Platinum, which is the last trophy I ended up getting. But that will do for my review of Overrogue. Take care, and thanks for watching.